Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads. And hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. A big shout out to Chris Roberts, our head broadcast engineer. So nice to have everybody with us. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show right now is Get Lucky with Marites Allen. Let's bring her out. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon here from a very chilly London. How are you, Dr. Jacalyn?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And it's actually a beautiful day, although I'm in a very dark room, but it's a beautiful sunny day out there somewhere. So sorry that it's
right.
So how have you been? I know you had a big move, as I did as well. And how did it go for you?
It went so well, and as you can see, and I think you can imagine that I'm slowly trying to hide some boxes into the cabinets just so it doesn't look so cluttered, but I'm gonna come back to it. Hopefully. It went so well. Adjustment, and I love it. I so love it because we are by the River Thames, so I would be seeing like the river, the Uber boats, and then the sunset, the sunrise are so beautiful. I was amazed because it's actually our living room is facing the west, so I can see like the London skyline, and it has different looks every day. So I'm very happy. Thank you.
Well, you showed me some of your view, and it was magnificent. So. You're in a beautiful place. So, Marites, the question I have for you, because we moved, there's a lot of people who are moving, going to move. What tips do you have for people so that they can try to find some peace, like have a strategic plan when they're packing and unpacking and figuring out where they're going to put places so that they're in alignment with their energy?
Yeah. Well, I think basically number one is if you can, only if you can, if you have a space, right? Organize it in such a way that even prior to the move, I'm sure just like you, I mean, we women are sort of like more organized. So each box before it left the other place, I already put instruction there. This particular box goes to master's bedroom. This box goes to the kitchen. This box goes to the living room. In that particular order, somehow you don't need to like be overwhelmed, because sometimes it's just really like the packaging, the boxes look so big, but actually when you actually unwrap it and you put it into the, say for example, into the cabinets, then it's really not too much. And I honestly sometimes, because what we do, what we talk, we are always on social media, connecting and sharing thoughts to our followers. I sort of like, I said, I even tell my husband, like, honey, can I just please have this corner just so I could put up my lights and my laptop. So at any given time, I will just come back to that direction and I will use that. So if you think about it, we owe it to ourselves that peace and tranquility is what we deserve. And again, this is all about energy. So my advice is to be organized prior, and when you are already organized and you are already in the units or the flat that you're moving into, then do not stress yourself too much. For me, I would say tomorrow I'm gonna pack. I'm gonna open this suitcase. The next day, I'm going to open the other one. I do not do it in one go because otherwise I'm going to go crazy. So that's what I do, Dr. Jacalyn. I don't know about you, but what do you do? I mean, in terms of unpacking the things, you cannot do it in one go, isn't it?
it's difficult. I know for me, my priority was to get the studio set up, and there's so much equipment and each thing is interconnected. So I just said to myself on Thanksgiving, I said, because I was streaming the next day, Friday last week, I said,
Mm.
you're going to get this done. You're not going to be, getting yourself all worked up. Just take it slowly. And so once I got it all set up, I felt really good because that was something I wanted to accomplish that I actually needed to accomplish. So I
Yeah.
think I think you bring up some really good points, and I think also not for people to overwhelm themselves. Take a break because it's one of the list of things that's the most, what is the word? I don't want to say traumatic, but losing a job, getting a divorce, a death in the family, and moving, right, are the things that cause
Yes,
people a
yes,
lot of stress.
that's right. And I think at the same time, we really owe something to ourselves. I always say this, like sometimes, like, we just like keep on pressuring ourselves. We have to do this, we really have to achieve, and then in the end, what? You just like end up in the day that you are like too exhausted and everything. So from time to time, never mind if it's too messy, never mind if you did not finish the whole cabinets and putting things out, never mind if things were not the way you expected it to be. Like, I must tell you that, the flooring of the kitchen that we are in right now, it was so beautiful when we inspected the place, etc. But hey, after 2 weeks now, we can see the chip that's coming out from the flooring, and some blockage in the dishwasher. But I cannot really put myself into be angry or be stressed, because hey, I am gonna be the loser. I mean, I tell it to myself, if I'm gonna be angry, then I'm gonna be the loser. So I adapt, and sort of like, if I cannot change the surroundings around me of that circumstances, then I am the one that will change.
I love that. I love that. That's brilliant.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, speaking of change, as we know, the year is quickly flying by. I mean, parts of the year didn't fly by, but we are now coming close to the end of 2021. And of course, people love to make resolutions for the next year, things that they're going to stop doing, things they're going to start doing, behaviors they're going to change. So I think it would be fun if we started talking now, because we could go on for this for several weeks, about New Year's resolutions. And I think also I'd love to get your thoughts about energy around New Year's resolutions, because sometimes we come up with things that we're going to do and we're setting ourselves up to fail because we want to do it in a quick time. So, example, many of the fitness facilities, the gyms, they get all kinds of people coming to sign up for whatever programs they offer. People are all gung ho. They go in, they're working out, and a week into it, that's the end. So, what can you share with us, Marites, about setting ourselves up to win energy wise when we make a resolution?
Well, I think at the beginning is to just to be aware. First is, looking back the last 11 months, I think we are a better person. We are now a most, how do you say this? We have practiced this pandemic situation, the pandemic life. So at the same time, it's also important to note that having to be aware first of our surroundings, what we have, and your plans is important. Now, another one is, like what you said, resolutions. I am, of course, guilty. I would write down my resolutions, and in as much as I really wanted to fulfill them, circumstances come into the way that sometimes it just doesn't work. Like, um, like what you said, the situation of the health fitness sector, they would be inviting people to sign up and everything. In the same manner that, for example, for ourselves, we would like to expand our network, we would like to expand our database. But then, because you are into one project, and then you just didn't have the time to continue with the rest. So I think for me is, do things within reason. Because if you pressure yourself into doing things which is really maybe the the achievability of that is also uncertain, then you're just going to be ending up hurting and annoying yourself. So for me, I know it's a very long winding answer, but begin with a single step. What is it that you didn't like in the past that you want to change in 2022? So if you ask me, I have never been able to really sleep because I am in different time zones. I do a lot of work. So this time, 2022, I am going to give it to myself. I am going to achieve to at least have an 8 hour a day sleep. It may be very close to impossible for me to do it because of travels, because of the time zones, because of the business you do somewhere. But um, in terms of my energy and my forecast for 2022, the monkey born person had to really take it easy. So, meaning number one for me is my health. I want to make sure that I look after my health. And if it means that I have to be eating healthier, I have to go back to the gym, I have to do a lot of meditation, and I have to eat well or sleep well, then I will have to do that. I mean, what about you, Dr. Jacalyn? Do you have any special plans for yourself?
I've been thinking about it. I always have, I don't want to say it's a resolution, it's kind of a way of life, but I'm very hard on myself. And I really mentally beat myself up a lot because I have such high expectations and I continuously want to do more, take on more, work out harder. So I think my resolution is to give myself some grace, which will not be easy for me. So
Okay.
it's something I will definitely have to work on over the course of time. And that's something else I wanted to mention, that if you are trying to break a habit or a pattern, just remember that this pattern didn't happen overnight, right? It's repetitive. You've been doing it for a long time. So to put that kind of pressure on yourself that you're going to be able to change it in a week, it's not going to happen most likely. So it takes, I think, 30 days, 35 days in
Yeah, or
order to
20
be able.
days to
Yeah,
establish it. Yeah.
exactly. And you have to replace it with a new pattern of behavior. So I know for me, 3 years ago in December, I gave up caffeine. And, one might think that that's difficult, but it wasn't hard for me. So for some people, maybe they want to change the way they're eating, or they want to change their career even. This is a big time when people start looking at their lives and what is their purpose? What is the value that they bring to the world?
That's right. That's right. I may want to share to you something. I hope it's just easy. Lee, can I easily like see it? Um, when the
Yeah.
camera shift, I'm going to get you something. It's this is what I have done so
Okay.
far. So
Okay.
yeah.
So we're talking today. If you're just joining us, I see we have a number of people watching. If you're just joining us, we're Get Lucky with Marites Allen, and we are talking about New Year's resolutions. So if you'd like to go into the comments and share New Year's resolutions, I'm sorry for people listening on the radio, we won't be able to hear from you. But Marites and I would love to hear from you. And let's go back to the two shots. All right. So what did you want to share with us?
Okay, so this is like so funny. I wanted to get this to my daughter, and then because because now that we are unpacking, I found it. You're gonna laugh at this. So because she moved from Manila to London, so remember in the Philippines, a lot of the kids around the world, they were working from home or studying from home. So in my unpacking, I found this. Anyway, this is just like one of the thought, like, okay, I want to share to you, but the
Oh,
things that I
I'm sorry. For people on the radio, the title of the book is Even a Global Pandemic Couldn't Stop Me. Graduation 2021.
yeah, or
Okay.
anything else, yeah, you can just like cover this up. Couldn't stop me from doing what you love to do, or couldn't stop me from, what I mean, from the things that you want to accomplish. So even
Yes.
a global pandemic couldn't stop me. So like what you said, is very important. Now, one of the things, because it takes 21 days to establish a habit. Let me just share to you. This is one of my very, very old notebooks. It even has dates October 9, 2019. This is my grateful notebook. Every day for 21 days, I had been writing it. 21 days. Look at that.
Wow, that's impressive.
So this is it. So no matter, I mean, I'm telling you, my friends, you just have to give it a try. And now I stopped. So I have to go back again. But what do I write here? So I will just say that, remember, you already have to thank of the things, even though it's not yet there, but you have to thank it as if it's already with you. So the things that I would say is, thank you for my um, thank you for my money I received from everywhere. Do you know, if you want some wealth, thank you for my disposable income. Thank you for my good health and success. Thank you for my prosperity. Thank you for an increased income. Thank you for my unlimited resources. I am always strong. Just, anything that you can think of that you will be thankful. So, Dr. Jacalyn, this is what I have done. So
I think that's brilliant.
Isn't it, right?
Yeah, I love it. I do love it. Yeah, thank you. We actually have a comment, Marites, and it's from
Carol.
Carol. My 2022 is focusing on health and nurturing a thriving environment. Beautiful.
Nice, Carol. Thank you. Carol is from the US. I remember there was a time that Carol, I think, is in a transition of, I think, from moving from one state to another. I forgot now, Carol, so if you can please remind me. And now I think I told her that, a couple of months into the planning. So I hope and wishing you a very, very, like a new environment is in fact a very good thing. When you make a change, always a good thing. Yeah, okay. So this month, she actually has implemented. So a couple of months ago, we had a consultation. So we made a plan, like if you want to make a move, then do it at this time. And then, from one place to another. So I wish you good luck, Carol.
Yeah, I have a question for Carol. She's focusing on health and nurturing a thriving environment. So Carol, can you share with us, what are you going to be doing when you say focusing on health? Can you elaborate a little bit? That would be interesting. And where are you moving to, if you want to share?
Yeah, it's really, yeah. So I think if Carol can, type in while we chat, it's really nice. I mean, Dr. Jacalyn, so do you or will you be writing your Christmas wishes or Christmas or New Year's resolutions, or have you got like maybe one or two?
Well, what I'll share with you is I write everything down. Like, I'm like you, and I have folders and folders. I write every single thing down. So I am so grateful for so many things. I mean, you take things for granted. My mom and I moved, and that was a 20-hour drive. I mean, that in of itself, getting here safely, that is huge, right?
That's hour. Wow.
20 hours, and yes, and the car was perfect, and my mom was like, she had so much stuff in the car, but she was like squeezed into a small space. She didn't complain once. So it's just, there's so many wonderful things to be grateful. Something that sounds ridiculous, I went out running and I had a top on that had a zipper, and the zipper, as I was running, it went into my skin and it was bleeding. I was wearing Band-Aids for about a week. I still have some scars, but guess what? It healed. I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? It could have gotten infected. Anything could have happened. I'm grateful for that. So
exactly. Yeah.
I'm grateful for the beautiful weather that we have here. So there's not even a notebook big enough to, if you think about it, right?
That's right. And I think you're so right, because sometimes it also make us grounded. And when we are a lot younger, this is what I met this before. I met this woman. You said, you know what? Because this person is so young, so they become arrogant. Like young people, I can do this. They have this elaborate and incredible, dreams and everything. But as you become older and as you mature, hey, this is just little things. Don't sweat out the small stuff. These are small stuff, but we were there one time.
Yes.
Like we were like, I want to make sure that I do this. I want to make sure that I get this thing done. But no, it's really like you just have to adjust and adapt, and yeah, don't sweat the small stuff, which is I'm going to do for my New Year's resolution.
Oh, we have a follow-up comment from Carol, which I will be putting up right now. Let's see what she
Yeah.
has to say. I'm moving from Texas back to California, and my current work lifestyle isn't suitable for my health due to pandemic. I manage about 14 restaurants, and managing everyone's safety, dealing with people's energy has taken a toll on my health, especially due to traveling, eating habits, and lack of rest. So I'll be transitioning in a coaching role instead, which is one of my favorite traits per my consultation with Marites. And she also writes, since I started working with her, a lot of things have changed. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, beautiful.
Woo!
Wow, thank you, Lord. Amazing. This
That's
is
fantastic.
amazing. Yeah,
I'm going to put the comment back up so people can see it. So, first of all, managing 14 restaurants,
wow.
whoa, what a huge amount of responsibility. So,
Mm,
kudos for you for being able to do that and do it well. And now you're moving into a coaching role, which is fantastic. So,
yeah.
just as a follow up question, Carol, um, who will be your target audience in terms of coaching? Are you going to be doing career coaching, life coaching, nutrition coaching, health what are you going to be doing, just so we can put out some good energy for you there?
Yes, yes. Carol, congratulations. I am so proud of you, darling. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, and it felt so good that, we are there as a medium to help and be instrumental in the change of somebody else's life. I mean, can you imagine running 14 restaurants and how many
No,
people? Oh my
that
God.
has to be so stressful. I cannot imagine that at all.
Imagine
First,
the staff
doing
and the
doing
food.
anything in the public forum, first of all, with a large group of people is very stressful.
Yeah, yeah. So I think so anything that you're gonna be moving into is gonna be like piece of cake for you, right? Yeah. I was just thinking, I don't know, but okay, we were talking about moving now, and then like you move, I move. For me, I have to move because of my feng shui preparations for next year. Next year is my conflict year of the tiger. I'm a monkey. Monkey and tiger are enemies, so even now I have to already make a move. So, in terms of maybe, or to anyone apart from Carol or for Carol, one of the things that you can do in terms of coaching, in fact, is even here in the UK or in London, I find it hard to say, if you want to have like to reach out in some like locals, like local. I mean, I know there's a lot of Asian food or something, but if you want to like say, oh, I want to have like a cleaner that I can trust. So if you can have like a local person, like a Filipina that at least who speaks the dialect that I do and I can trust, that's one thing. So maybe it's just like a consultancy, like where is the best what else that we missed back home. Somebody would like to adjust your clothes, right? Like a seamstress. In London, I don't know where you can find it, but maybe you can, but it's gonna cost you a lot of money. But I think for me is if somebody can put it together, like even like an online, that these are the services that you can get from different people, that would be great. Like again, starting from the food, like the other day my son came back from Dubai, and all what he was asking me is, mommy, can I please have we have it, Dr. Jacalyn, in the Philippines, a very it's like a dish that we all grow up with. We call it chicken adobo. I'm sure Carol knew about that. So the chicken adobo is like it's a very very special dish, but then I am missing a certain ingredient. but I cannot find it here. So I think for me, from professional to like mommies and to many things, if there's like a consultancy or a coaching person to do that, that would be great. I would say it's a hit, especially this pandemic. Um, yeah. So I think,
Fantastic.
yeah, Jacqueline, I think there's a message from Carol.
Yes, there is another one. Thanks, Carol. We really appreciate your engagement. Carol Lee writes, I'll be coaching management, senior manager development for my current company. At the same time, I'm also a life coach, goal setting, breaking patterns, looking down into root causes of ineffectiveness, and supporting people to see and live into possibilities. Brilliant.
Beautiful. Wow. I am
That,
so proud, Carol. That is so great.
let me just say this, that shows that your company thinks a lot about you, that you're transitioning into a different role, and I think that's brilliant. So something I'd like to discuss with you and Carol as well, and anybody else who wants to weigh in, because I feel like as women we are so much more than one or two or three or four things. Carol's bringing up, she's doing two different roles. I know, Marites, you have a ton of things that you do. The same thing with me. I'm a certified coach myself. And I think we're not actually able to lead with what it is that we do on a regular basis. So that I'm just going to mute you for a second.
Sorry.
That's okay. I think it's interesting that we don't have to be just one thing, but when people ask us what it is we do, we kind of box ourselves into a certain thing. So you're the real queen of Feng Shui, right? But you're so much more than all of that, right? Carol's so much more than just, I don't want to say just, but a life coach for individuals. She's coaching management, senior management development, etc. And I know with me, I'm a broadcaster, but I'm also a host. I'm also an author. I'm also a meditation I mean, on and on. So how do we put all these things together so that we are not limiting ourselves when we're describing ourselves to people? Does that make sense, Marites?
Yeah. Well, I think that your question of how do we put it out to people is basically what we do now. We share. We share because it multiplies it, isn't it? If I had not shared my consultation with Carol, if I have not assessed the things that could be an opportunity for her, the other option for her is just to really stay with her job, suck it in day out. You go back to the same routine and everything. But hey, because she needed that a bit of push, right? Everybody, that's what we do. It doesn't mean that you needed somebody else's decision for you to implement it. You just need to have like an advice, like a second opinion. Like we see a doctor, we need another second opinion. So we help people to like be push a bit, like, yeah, come on, like take the first step. The first step is to say, hey guys, this must be very difficult for Carol, I'm sure, at the beginning. I love you guys. I've been with you for so long, but I want to venture into a different role and I want to do different things. So that step alone must be very difficult for her to do. And because she has already done it, the next step is, of course, to be away, or to remove herself from the familiar place that she has been for 14 years, to practically shift from one place to another location. So all it really takes is to share. I mean, the greatest word out there that says, a journey to 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So I think for you and I, Dr. Jacalyn, for Carol, or for anyone watching and listening, just take the step. Just take and move forward, because there's so much more that we can share to everybody. And a lot of people even said that, women are actually better managers. Maybe. You're a superwoman, right? So we can do a lot of things, in fact. And again, maturity. If it doesn't work, it's fine. Don't be so hard on yourself. If it works, then congratulations. So it just sort of like validates you on how to move forward, in life as well.
Fantastic. We do have a comment, which I'm going to get to in 1 second. I just wanted to add on. So, Marites, you do a lot of things. You're a coach as well, and Carol's a coach. I'm a coach. But I want to share it with people when you think about New Year's resolutions. I was in the corporate world for my entire career, and I worked with a life coach to come up with a plan to retire and to start and just focus on my life coaching.
Uh-huh.
So, we had plan A, B, and C. This was last year in March. 2020. And
Uh-huh.
I was just going to be a full-time life coach. And as it turned out, the pandemic hit and the people who were paying me could no longer pay. They didn't have any money. So I was coaching people for free and I was on the radio. And long story short, I went from plan A to plan B to plan B and a half to a state of panic and maybe going to plan C. And then all of a sudden things just started opening up. And I got my yoga certification. I got my meditation certification. I started this platform, and now we have 20 shows. And it's so. My point is, come up with a plan, work with a coach, someone like Marites, someone like Carol, someone like me, and you will get to where you want to go. I'm not saying there's not going to be challenges, but
Mhm.
we accept them and we walk through them, and now we've grown as a person and can add more value to other people. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
thank you for sharing that. It's really good.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have a comment. So I know you have an event coming up. Let's talk a little bit about that. Hi, I'm an Aries also. Aries.
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. What other options to pay for December 26th? Thank you.
Okay. So I think the December 26th is you can actually get it from it's on our website earlier. It can be bought at our website, friga.co.uk or friga.com.ph, or you can buy it from ktx.ph, Ticket to Me, or even Eventbrite. So many options to buy. Otherwise, you can always actually contact us. Let me just see if I can share to you the tickets. Yeah, so you see in our website, it's here. So you can just go to our website, and these are the different registrations. You can get it from
Can you
event.
share? We can't see it. I'm sorry. Can you share?
You can here. Can you see this one?
No, we
Huh?
don't.
Okay, let me just share. So you can just actually get it, Aris, from our websites. This one.
Here you go.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually any of those. Eventbrite, register now. Eventbrite, ktx.ph, or Friga. Very easy.
Does that help, Aries?
Yeah, I hope it helps you, Aris.
Oh, is
I
it Aries? I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
I
thought it
think
was
Aris
Aries.
is she's a client from Canada. She's from Vancouver. I remember. Yeah, she is from. Maybe we can ask her. What is your New Year's resolution?
Yeah, we would love to know your New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like so I'd like to say, really thank you for Carol for the change. I am amazed. I am amazed by wow. I mean, can you imagine that, Dr. Jacalyn? It's like it's the when you have to push somebody or when you have to move. It's nice that you have talked it out with someone. Some
Definitely.
people, they they keep it to themselves, and it's very like difficult for them to open it up. So they do things, they make it a surprise. The thing with people is, my friends, you have to stop saying, what if it doesn't work?
Right.
But hey,
Yes.
what if it works? So in the good old days, we hate ourselves, right? Oh, I wish I could have done this. I mean, even every after interview, even now, I would say like, oh, I wish I could have said this, or I wish I could have said this. I wish my angle was like this, or I wish I could have worn a different thing. But hey, no more. It's done. It's over. I did my best. My role is this. My goal is this: just be the best version of yourself from yesterday. So
Mm.
today, do better than what you were yesterday.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. And something else I want to add on as well, because you just touched on this. It's okay if everybody, anybody, somebody doesn't like what you're doing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everyone's not going to believe in what it is you're doing. When Carol made this decision, maybe she had people who were like, "What are you, insane? You got a great thing going," or, you're really well respected in your role. But in Carol's body, probably it didn't feel right anymore. I know for me in my corporate role, I had a great career. I stayed at 5-star resorts. I was paid 6-figure. I mean, I could go on, but I had all these health issues, and I was able to determine that the health issues were definitely related to the job, because I wasn't enjoying myself as much as I used to, but I liked all the perks and I liked the money. So I decided to give it all up, which was a huge, when you're used to having a paycheck all the time and benefits, and anytime you travel, you have an expense account, to give that up and go out on your own, that was very scary. But I knew I needed to do it. And I still don't make anywhere near what I used to make, but I am so much happier. I can't even tell you how happy I am.
Amazing. I mean, thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, even me, from I used to be working in a corporate world before. And then when I get married, it's really like, hey, are you gonna be we call it like in the Philippines, a homemaker? But I am not that. Even if I am no longer in a corporate world, I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna start my own business, and it's a small business at the beginning. Nobody believes me. My family didn't believe me. Are you nuts? Why do you have to do that? You were running a business. I was running a business with the big firms. But, it's really like, I remember this, my mentor, or maybe I bump into something that says, do you want to be the tail of the lion or the head of a mouse? So you know what I mean? Even though if I am the head of a mouse, it's a very, very small firm, but it's mine.
Yes.
Or I am the tail of a lion, which is a very big firm. So I tell you what, I choose the latter. I'd rather be the head of a mouse because it's my company. I will wake up whenever I want to wake up. I will show up whenever I can, but it's my responsibility. And in life, we just have to take the risk. If a family member does not like the way you do things, if your family member is not in good terms, or you know what I mean, those things, it's just the way it is. I used to, because remember, Dr. Jacalyn, I consult a lot of people, and I'm telling you, millionaires or billionaires, we all have the same problem. Sometimes the couple doesn't understand each other. Sometimes they just get together because of the sake of a huge business issues. The children have their own way of going, and guess what, if you keep on, because as a mother, as a person, you have done your best, so you really have to give something back to yourself. Like, why would you sleep at night worrying? Have I not done good enough? I think you've done good enough. So
yes.
keep on.
Really good points. Thank you. Thanks for the transparency. We do have a comment. Love your discussion here. It boosts me now to go forwards. Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you.
Thank you so
Anne
much.
is from Winnipeg in Canada.
Yes. Let's see.
Yes. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Something else I want to share is, and I'm just putting this out because I think it's important. We have people who are engaging. It's okay to try something that you've never done before, right? And so I'm just going to share this. We won't be able to see it because of the green screen, but I wrote my first book last year. You can't see this, but it's all green. You can't see it.
Yes.
I wrote this book, and it's about my life, actually, behind the green screen, how to succeed in the live broadcasting business. It's about how I started this whole thing by myself. And it's also how and why I left the corporate world. So the reason I'm bringing it up is I never wrote a book before. I worked with a book coach last year, and I wrote that in 2.5 months. And so I think I started in February, and then we finished it, I think, in April or May. And June the 4th, it was #1 bestseller. So since then, I've written a second book, which I'm going to release in a couple months. And I want to start a third book, which I have no knowledge about. It's going to be a children's book about how to listen. And because I have a whole course about the power of listening. But my point is, I don't know anything. Like, I never did these things before. So now I'm doing them. So it's okay to try something new. This book, maybe this book is not the greatest book in the world. Okay, I don't really care. I did it. I put my story out there for anyone and everyone to see. So I hope that our audience takes that forward, just like Carol, moving from one state to another, one career to another, and working with you, Marites, and giving her the insights and her finding the courage to make her dreams come true.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, thank you for sharing that, Dr. Jacalyn. I mean, because I don't know if it's also something to do with culture in the Philippines, in Asia in particular. We are so, like, when somebody tells you, oh, you cannot do it, are you nuts? It's really like, it's different when you do it in Europe. Like, if you talk to, say, the Europeans or my husband, they think this high. That's why you really have to aspire. But for Asian, sometimes, like Filipinos, you don't want to hurt somebody. It's okay. Just anything is in control. You have to be careful with what you say. You have to be careful with the words you want to deliver, because you don't want to offend the person, especially if it's in the family. You have to be respectful. You are expected to be respectful with your elderly. So usually the words of our parents, the words of our elder brother or sisters is like a law. It's like, this is what I told you to do. Do not do that, because it's not going to work. You stick to this. So this is why I would say the generation of today, the information that you put out there is very important, that we share this to people. It is okay to be in your unfamiliar places. I have never done Feng Shui in my life before I started Feng Shui. So, you just have to take the first step. Again, if it doesn't work, it's fine. Then if it works, then congratulations. And it is just you. It's yourself. You don't need to blame anyone. It's yourself. But even to yourself, do not blame yourself, because you have to give it a try. Just give it a try. That's my advice to everybody. And do it when you do things, try to do it with heart, with feelings, do it with dedication, because it is where you put the nice things. When Dr. Jacalyn is doing her book, the 2.5 months that you've been doing it day and night, you put in your feelings there. So that is why, some people, that's why, I don't know if I know I may be talking in a segue. Remember the movie The Devil Wears Prada, right?
Yes, of course.
Right? So I'm sure our viewers were watching it. But then there was a scene between her and the staff that says, it's when she commented that, oh, it's just a blouse. Like, what's wrong with that? It's just, everybody's just to say a blouse. And then Meryl Streep says, it's not just a blouse. It was like, a top where a lot of these intelligent people put their designs together, the cat, the colors and trimmings and everything. And now, because of that design, it's now being like, inspired and copied, and, from a runway to the ordinary store has followed suit that. So whatever you do, my friends, it's just not what you do. You have that special element that is your DNA. No one can copy you. It is your thing. If I created a scarf like this, I knew that anywhere in the world, whether one likes it or not, this is my creation. So this is like
That is beautiful.
yeah, so this is like auspicious mantra scarf. These are the lotus symbol. This is the wheel of fortune. These are the eight auspicious symbol. And then I can wear it as a scarf. I can wear it as in fact, I could I put something here. I just tie it like that, and then I could even wear it as my,
Oh, I love that.
So you can, like,
Wow.
you can wear it the way you want it to be. So what I'm trying to say is, just be creative. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't sell, it's fine. You have satisfied yourself. um
You're always going to be left with that question, what if, what if? So you have to get out there. And
Yeah.
Marites, you just made me think of something. We have to have you back on fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure and do just a whole episode on scarves.
Yes.
I actually worked in Bloomingdale's for a part-time in the scarf department. This is a million years
Really?
ago. But there's so many ways to wear a scarf and people get intimidated by it. They don't know what to do with it.
That's right. Oh, I love that. Please, please, let's do that. I love that because, like what I said, it's like, I was on another show, and hey, there's also another one that I'd like to share with you. I was just talking with a friend in Dubai. So she is a part of like a fashion council in Dubai. There is like a challenge. It's because of the pandemic. It's because of the how the fashion industry are evolving now. And then the trash and the natural effect to the environment of producing and everything, the fashion, etc. And she is one of the, I think, she's part of the group that they are being given 40 pieces to be worn for 30 days. So all they have to do is to come up with an outfit for 40 days using, no, to come up with a 30-day outfit using 40 days, 40 pieces of clothing. So maybe 5 of tops, 2 of jeans, etc. and etc. And that's all what they have to do. They don't need to buy anything, but just revive, recycle, restyle of the things that they already have in their closet. So, which is like amazing. So, like for me, I had this for like, my shawl was like, I think I produced this about 4 years ago. My mantra earring was maybe about 3 years ago. So we can just like restyle and use it ourselves.
I think
So
that's fab. That can be a whole show in and of itself as well.
isn't it nice creating a 30-day outfit using 40 pieces of your existing wardrobe? So, and then just how you style it and every day. So it's now what's going on in Dubai. This is how to help the environments, because isn't it in our country, our countries, we have four seasons, right? You have an outfit for winter, for summer, etc. So can you imagine the amount of trash sometimes that you put out there? So
So true. So true.
like you
And
said,
Marites, when I moved, I didn't bring a lot of my stuff because, it's the other place. It's fine. So I don't have a lot of stuff here. So I would love to find out those 40 pieces for 30 days I have so many scarves. I don't know what to do with them. I tie them the same ways and whatnot, but,
yeah. Or
yeah.
you
So
can wear it as a top or as a blouse. Remember, you can wear it as a blouse as well. Tie it at the back with a pin here. Many things.
well, we're going to do a whole show on that with Diane Floyd Bame on fashion, fitness, travel, and
Yes.
leisure. So.
Um, I'm gonna share to you as well. I have shared this earlier to my team, to my show. I'm not sure if you have. I'm sure you may have encountered it, but there is this system that you can do now. This is what you called. I don't know if you're seeing it.
No.
This
Oh, here we
is,
go.
yeah. This is about a device that can measure your chakras. So anyway, bottom line is it really goes through a different, like, you can check what is your energy fields, It's gonna be like it's gonna tell you what is your stress level, are you balanced or not, which organs of your body are disbalanced. It even tell you the stress points. If you are 0 to 2, you're very calm, but if when they measure you, if you are 8 to 10, you're very high with stress. We would love to know these things, right? So
Absolutely.
I got this very interested. And then these are also the different energies. So the left part of our body, which is like, like which is like tendency for you to have an issue. Is it the thyroid gland? Is it your teeth, etc.?
Hmm.
So I find this very amazing. And then with this now, it now generates like your energy balance. What is it that you have at that particular time? And then at the same time, it now tells you the different disalignment of your chakras, because the chakras are actually represents the different parts of our body. And now because of that, it can now tell you which parts of your body is actually having a disalignment. So with this one, Dr. Jacalyn, is that it's also very amazing that with this device right now, you can get a space harmonizer that when they remeasure you again, so if your chakras are disorganized, so when they have remeasured you again, your chakras, in fact, has been aligned. And this is through the use of this particular gadget. So when they put this space harmonizer, this is the space harmonizer that I'd like to share with you. They put this under their chair. So they
Hmm.
sit there for 10 minutes, and then they have to remeasure the person again. The second time they remeasure the person, I'm going to share this to you, the chakra of the person um, is already aligned. So if you can please share this, Dr. Jacalyn.
Okay, there we go. Yep.
So the chakras now has been aligned.
Oh,
So
wow.
special electromagnetic field inside that actually harmonizes the space of the person, and also as well for the home. So this comes in two. One is you can put it in your room, or you can travel it in the car. And there's a bigger one that you can put it in the house. So when I started using this a week ago, I'm telling you, I had been very, very like, I my sleeping was like improved a lot. So it's like the mini Vitatronic. So I was just wondering whether you have encountered this. It's amazing. So I'm just sharing that to you.
Yeah,
So
no,
next,
I'm not. Where can people get this?
this time it's not being distributed by Friga, but this is only for our company. This is only for special, orders. But I just would like to share with you, because we talk about like healing. We talk about healthy living. Sleep is very important. Sleep, apparently, if we are sleep deprived, it added so many years into our lives. So it we age so fast, especially the women. So I'd like to know more about the healthy way, to go about these things. So it's really very good. And then, of course, we'll be offering the chakra measurements as well. It's just nice to know if our chakra is aligned or disaligned or everything.
Exactly. Yeah, that was really interesting. And we have a comment from the lovely Carol that she would like to order one.
Yes,
So
yes,
you're saying
Carol.
that they're not available in the States now? Is that what you're saying?
We are able to ship it anywhere in the world. Right now, yeah, we have launched it actually in my Monday show. But okay, Carol, I'll take note of that. I'll put you on the order list as well.
Fantastic. I have invited a friend to come onto the platform with us, but I don't know that she's not here yet. So,
Okay.
Diane Foy-Beam, who you know, and
Yes.
she
Yeah.
and I have a show literally starting in a few minutes.
Oh.
She is Diane. I sent you. Check your
Yeah.
text message, Diane. I sent you a link to join us if you want to come on the show. Okay. We also have a comment from, how do you say that? Nathalie?
Natalie.
Natalie.
Hi. From Batangas, Philippines, sending love for you. Wow. Okay. What time is it there? It's about 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 in the morning. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
And Diane Bain wants to get one as well. So
hi, Diane. Thank you. Please,
so Lady Di, we're waiting for you here. If I don't see you in a couple of minutes, we'll close out. You can always pop on our show. We're doing fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure.
Yes, please. And I mean, this time again, I mean, wow. Whenever I'm with you, the time flies so fast.
It does. It goes. There's so many things that are of interest that we can discuss. So,
yes.
Okay, yes, it's 3 a.m. here.
Natalie, thank you so much. I wish you a very nice sleep. Good night to you there in the Philippines. And I also would like to say, hey, Carol, thank you. Anne, thank you so much for joining us in. And yeah, please always follow Dr. Jacalyn on all the social medias listed in this one. You can always see us, right? At the same time, Dr. Jacalyn, every Friday.
Yes.
4 p.m. London time, 2 a.m. Philippines.
And also, because we are in different time zones, this show will replay. So it'll replay 3 or 4 times during the week. So a suggestion I have for everyone is, if you can go, I'll put this in the comments. If you can go to our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV, on YouTube, and you can subscribe. We have a playlist there. So all of these shows are in the playlist. So I'll be putting this one there tomorrow. Okay. So there it is, USA Global TV. And here's Diane. Yay. She's so great. She just last minute, I'm like, hey, can you pop in? Let me bring her on. Looks like she's getting ready. There she is. Okay, here we go. Welcome, Diane. Nice to see you.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you. What a great show. I can't wait to get that out.
See you again.
We're hearing it twice.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm just going to mute for,
I think it's for a second.
Okay. So I'm just going to let our audience know that Diane is my co-host on 2 shows, The Corner Bookstore, which is on, I think it's on Thursdays at noon Eastern time, and also the Fashion, Fitness, Travel, and Leisure, which is right after this. So, Marites, we want to have you on our show to talk about scarves. I'm not saying it has to be today, but I'm just saying in the future.
Next week or whenever.
Yeah, that would be great.
The must-have for the Year of the Tiger 2022.
Fantastic. Yes.
And I would love to do one on scarves, because I have at least 50 scarves. So I think scarves are amazing. And I've actually been wanting to have somebody who actually designs scarves. And as you know, Filipinos, to me, because I live there, I think I told you.
Yes.
To me, they are so creative, so artistic. They make the most beautiful furniture on earth. They make beautiful scarves. They embroidery. I could go on and on. So if you know someone who specializes in scarves, then
yay. Thank you. Yay. Well, Diane, it's the good karma of our Dr. Jacalyn. I always say this, the universe always has a reason.
Amen.
They always put us into the right direction.
Yes,
agreed. Well, it's amazing. So I'm going to ask you ladies just a quick question. Do we want to continue here, or should we say goodbye and then Diane and I go into the other studio for fashion fitness? It's up to you two.
It's up to you. I know we have, I do want to show some of and would love to stay on and have your thoughts on some of the seasons by design things I've sent you, Dr. Jacalyn. I don't know if you saw it, and share. And if you wanted to share what happens in the Philippines, because Dr. Jacalyn, being in the Philippines at Christmas time is just magical.
It's so beautiful.
So beautiful. All the capiche, and anyway, it's up to you, Dr. Jacalyn.
It's out of this world.
Well, if Marites, you have time, right? Or no?
Yeah. I could go in for another 30 minutes. And then maybe next week, what we can do is I could prepare some of the crazy Christmas decors, right? That is so crazy. It's just like, I don't know. And we start our Christmas in September, like September 1.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Well, here I've got a great idea just thinking on my feet. So Diane sent a bunch of pictures. So I'm going to remove myself from the stream. I'm going to produce the show. I'm going to get the pictures, put them up, and then I'll be back. So you guys can have a chat with the audience.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Sure,
All right.
sure.
You guys take it
No
away.
problem. Yes. So Diane, tell me, when you were in the Philippines, even now, what do you miss from the Philippines? By the way, to our viewers, there are Filipinos here: Carol, Natalie, Anne, Diane has been in the Philippines for a while. So what is it that you miss in the Philippines?
I miss the people.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean that because, leaving Texas, I'm a Texas girl, and going to the Philippines, I felt very at home because the Filipino people are so friendly. And I've lived in lots of places in the world, but I find that their heart is golden and they're willing to help you, and they're true. And I just love that. So I felt very much at home. And my husband speaks Filipino, Tagalog.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when we went, he was a diplomat.
Yes.
And, so I was able to travel to some of the various islands, even down all the way down to Hello. So,
Wow.
yeah. So I just have beautiful stories. And my first child was born in Makati Medical Center.
Oh my gosh.
So, it was a long time ago, but it's still, it's so beautiful. And then fast forward when we were living in Dubai, there's a huge Filipino population. So I was like, my husband emailed and goes, "Oh, you're going to love Dubai. It has lots of Filipinos."
That's right. That's right. I think Filipinos are everywhere. We must have, I think we could be the biggest contingent in terms of overseas workers.
Absolutely.
I was told that in California alone, or in the whole of the US, there are at least 3 million Filipinos.
Oh,
So
yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
yeah, so thank you for for having very, very nice experience and good word about the Philippines.
Oh,
And
yes. And I was there during the Marcos years, and so it was beautiful. And they had just built the Coconut Palace for the Pope to come.
oh, yes,
And,
yes,
and I lived right across from the Coconut Palace off Rojas Boulevard,
yes, yes.
in the American compound.
Wow, you have the best sunset.
Yes, absolutely. And we could walk all the way down to Pasang Filipino. I don't know if that park is still there or
Yes.
not, but it was really
Yeah.
pretty. And what was fun was everybody had different stalls, and they would be selling their incredibly gorgeous work, and that was
Yeah.
always fun too.
Wow.
And I miss the jeepneys.
That's right, goodness.
I think I have a jeepney around up here somewhere. I have a jeepney. So.
Yeah, as a souvenir. In fact, I'm not sure if you were updated, but do you know that the one in the Rojas Boulevard area, they now have reclaimed it and they put white sand.
Really? That's wonderful.
Yes, it's amazing. So now the whole of that area, they have created. In fact, some of our viewers right now, Filipinos, if you can please correct me or advise me. So I think she was Natalie here was saying that you may be meaning, I think, the Luneta Park. Yes. And then all of the Rojas Boulevard, there's a big part there that was converted now into a white sand. So it's amazing that people now can actually go out and have a sunset, because you know that, right?
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah. So the trash was, improved a lot, and they covered and put some white sand into it. So the government really spent so much to develop this area. Yeah. So
yay, that's wonderful news.
Yeah.
When I was there, the Philippines was the great big place for all the Hollywood stars to come. And then also there were a lot of races with the sailboats and everything too. So it was extremely a happening place, and I still think it is. So
Did you ever adapted back home now in the US some Filipino dishes like the chicken adobo? Did your husband ever eat them or?
Oh, I mean, I don't know how to make it. What we do is we go to in Austin, Texas, where I'm at now. There's a restaurant, it's a Filipino restaurant, and so then we go there. And I know this isn't exactly Filipino, but it was something that we had every Monday night on at the compound if we chose. It was called Mongolian barbecue.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And there's actually a restaurant here called Mongolian Barbecue. So
like you can just choose whatever you want to put it into your. Well, I love it. I miss it. Now you're making me hungry.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. But again, just stressing. I love the people. And what was really exciting about living in Dubai, because we just returned home about a year ago, is, Filipinos can sing. And I don't know if I told you, I was in the show Pippin and a couple of musicals at the National Theater. And that was a huge honor. But anyway, some of the Filipinos that were in the show were amazing. I mean, they could be on Broadway tomorrow. Matter of fact, I was in Annie with Lea Salonga when she was little.
Really?
Yeah. I loved her. She was so adorable. So I loved watching her career grow. But there's a lot of Filipinos that ended up with me in Popular Productions in Dubai. Popular Productions brought musicals to Dubai. And I was in several of their shows, maybe about 5 productions. And we had a huge Filipino cast. And actually a gentleman named Ron Parker, he's going to be in one of my commercials for my new children's book. And he did such an amazing job that he's going to be highlighted the most. So I'm just throwing it out there to Ron Parker from the Philippines.
Thank you so much. I was just wondering, did you ever have a chance to work with one of our artists? She's very, very good, Pinky Amador.
I know. A long time ago, yes. I know who you're talking about, but
she did the Miss Saigon as well. After Lea Salonga, there's a couple more, and then she did the Miss Saigon here in the West in London.
In London, yes.
So I am home now with you. You are home with me. Thank you.
Well, it's such a pleasure to know you, and the information you're sharing with us is so important, and I really want to get the word out because I think what you're sharing with all of us is helping us to be not just in alignment with ourselves, but in alignment with the universe and in alignment and as us as spiritual beings to be the beautiful person that we were the day we were born. I don't know what you think about that, but that's what I hear.
Yeah, I think it's with so many things that we see on the news, many things that, I mean, the world is so beautiful, and then all of a sudden it has changed. And each of us, I believe, has our own story to tell. We have our own responsibility to do. So can you imagine if this is what I was sharing to Dr. Jacalyn earlier? I said, you know what? I know we have so much to be grateful, but so a while back, I was actually writing my things. Why am I grateful? It takes 21 days to fulfill a habit. So every single day, I would have to write this. Like every day, because now my mind is filled up with the good things that happened that day. Because can you imagine if your mind is filled up with stress, with what went wrong for the day and everything? Then it's only a matter of time before our energy shifts. So I said, why not document the things that really went good today? So because we always so these are small things.
But they add up. That's so beautiful. That keeps the heart more centered and pure.
Yes. So you don't need to go out. You don't need to invest anything. You just invest your time. And it's so therapeutic because now, looking back, say I was writing this on December 20, 2019. I cannot say that these are the events that has happened that made me very happy. So I don't even like put the negative things that has happened. I was just focusing on the positive ones, which I said, oh my God, like these little things that we do is really amazing. What one can do.
Yay, Dr. Jacalyn.
Hey, I'm back. I got all the pictures uploaded.
Great. Well, just to wrap up what she was saying, I think she shared it with you also about her book.
Yes.
Affirmation.
I love that.
Yes.
And I think something that's also really important, Marites, that you had said, just to reiterate it, that you can write affirmations about things you wish for, things you hope, things you want to come into your life as though you already have them, right?
Yes, that's right. So you just, I mean, sometimes, I was telling to myself, I said, when I die one day and somebody get hold of my book, they're going to be laughing at me. And I said, it's really like, it's amazing. You're going to be laughing at it, but never mind. I mean, hey, it didn't harm anyone. It just like makes you more, you just want to say thank you for, thank you for the, somebody, my dishwasher clogged up the other day. So thank you for the contractor that came on time to fix it.
That's
so true. We've got a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
From Natalie. Ma Marites motivates a lot of people to improve and bring the best of everything, though there's a lot of obstacles and anything going on about this pandemic. It helps us a lot. Thank you. Oh,
thank
that's
you,
so nice.
Absolutely.
So nice. Very nice.
Yeah. And Natalie, if you guys stay on, there's a lot of information you can learn from Diane and Dr. Jacalyn. Actually, this is their show, and I've overtaken their show already.
Well, we have a great guest.
Yes, for sure. We are going to transition to fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure. And Marites, are you going to stay with us?
Yes, so I have to say bye for now, but I'll be listening. Yeah. And then I wish you the best. I am very excited to watch this on the backstage, on the, while you're going to be on the same channel, or you're going to be wrapping up on another one?
We'll just stay here. It's fine because, one thing before you go, I just want to share, this is really exciting. Diane, who continues to astound with all the things that she's accomplished. She has a new book out called A Song of Peace. Wow. How beautiful is this? Nice. I know there is a wonderful advertising trailer that's being created. Diane, tell us about this book, please.
Sure. This is A Song of Peace, and it's about a little boy who just really wants to see peace on earth, and he hops off the merry-go-round, so that's why you see the merry-go-round there, and his mouth is open because he's just singing the word peace, and he just wants things to calm down and for people to be happy, and there's something magical that happens in there. Not with wizards or anything, but just with people coming together and singing. It goes viral. And that's something I would really like to see happen, is for after our trailer, and that was the one that Ron Parker from the Philippines is part of, and Dr. Jacalyn, you're part of it, is to get people to just say peace, peace for like 50 seconds and pop it up there. And if you want to sing it and go peace, 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 whatever, however it touches your soul, and it go viral in real life would be awesome, because the angels need to hear it.
Wow.
It is beautiful. Wonderful. Diane, yes. Where can people get this this wonderful book, in addition to all your other books?
It just went on Amazon as of yesterday. I'm very excited. So Amazon, and just Diane Floyd, bam, if you Google me on Amazon, it'll come up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a new word that I learned today. So thank you for that. So when things are so rough, when things are not quite right, just say peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
That's right. Peace.
Right. Wow. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine that it now opened our eyes? It now made us aware.
Yeah.
So, yes.
our guardian angel, Dr. Jacalyn. Thank you for bringing us all together.
Thank you. I'm switching to our fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure backgrounds. So, Marites, we were streaming your information throughout the program, but for people who are on the radio and they can't see it, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yes. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and please take the chance or take the time to keep watching us every Friday, 4 p.m. London time at Dr. Jacalyn Show, Get Lucky with Marites Allen. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Facebook and YouTube at Marites Allen. So I'll see you next time. I'll be watching you, Diane and Dr. Jacalyn.
Wonderful. And we'll get you on fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure and talk to us about the scarves. Okay. I'll reach out to you after. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And to everyone who's here, thank you so much. And please don't forget also my books. The 2022 Horoscope Guides is now available. We can talk about it next week.
Let's do that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So for everyone who's here, thank you for watching. We're transitioning to fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure. And Diane, we've got some beautiful images that you shared, and I have them. But before we get into that, so there's a couple things we're going to talk about today. One, we're going to talk about fitness trends. And I think we're going to focus on footwear, which I think is important. You know, you're going to go start jogging or hiking and you're wearing 7-inch stilettos. I don't know. And then we'll go into some holiday decor. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
All right. So I'm going to ask for a little audience participation. So if you would share with us, what type of exercise do you like to do? Are you, excuse me, are you someone who likes to go to the gym? Are you someone who likes to go outdoors? Are you a swimmer? So I see you watching. Don't be shy. Just put in the comments any type of fitness that you enjoy, or maybe something you're taking up next year. Maybe you're going to do hang gliding or canoeing. I don't know. Okay. Diane, what do you like to do when it comes to fitness?
Walking. I actually love walking. When I was living in Dubai, I did dragon boat racing, which was a blast. It was hard on my back eventually, so I just stopped. But if anyone likes canoeing, try dragon boat racing. It is a blast. It's a team sport, and when your team gets it, the boat just starts skimming and just gliding, like it just takes off on the top. It's phenomenal, and there's something about when you're in the rhythm. And Dr. Jacalyn, you love this because of your listening course, because everyone has to listen and focus to the team person telling us, you know, which stroke and how to change. And if you mess up, you're messing up the whole team. And so you're an absolute team player. So there's so many skills that are going on in that particular type of physical activity. And I love it. So
it sounds very interesting. I've never heard of it before. Thank you for sharing that.
It's you can actually do dragon boat racing. It's international. They have just giant international races and so forth.
Anybody out there who's ever done it, let us know. Yeah. We have a comment from the lovely Marites Allen, the real Feng Shui queen. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn and Diane. So thrilled to be with you both today, Hugs. Well, we're thrilled to have you as well. And Diane, thanks for jumping on early for that interaction. That was fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't get to talk about the Philippines very much, so it was really nice. And I do have a special place in my heart for the Philippines.
I learned a lot of things about you that I didn't even know. So that was interesting. Even though I was backstage, I was listening. So that's cool. So you like to hike. And when you go hiking, what kind of footwear do you wear? Do you wear a regular sneaker? Do you wear a hiking shoe, walking shoe?
If depending on where it is, and I'm not as great hiker like my one daughter Rachel. I mean, she can hike for hours. But if it's like up in the mountains, then I didn't bring my hiking shoes in here. But yeah, I wear the proper rugged hiking shoes. But for walking and everything, I have my really thick shoes here. Ta-da! them.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Yeah, they really support your arches, and that's so important. So people are like, "Oh my gosh, they're so ugly," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they're so comfortable." So when you're finished, you are not tired, and your knees are protected. And that's, people forget how important it is to, when you're walking, pound, 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 it is hard on the knees. And the other thing that I can show you that I have is I went to, because as you age, your knees get kind of worn out. And so I was listening to my brother talk about how he went to this one foot doctor, and all of a sudden he has 0 knee problems. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's happening to me. And so I went to the foot doctor, and they measured, and see this insole. So it fits in, see the arch here? We should have them on sometime. And these fit, and they last for like 5 years, but they're designed for your foot and for the way you put the pressure down as you're walking. And it just gives added support, and it protects your body. So I'm very much into that. So like today I did an hour walk with the dogs. They're pulling you. And an hour may not seem like very much, but an hour compared to nothing is a lot. And going up and down the hills where I live. And so I'm not tired at all, because ta-da, they're just really thick soles. And you can have thick soles, but if they're hard, then they don't move. But you see how this bends? So when you buy a shoe, the foot doctor, he always said, look, you need to make sure that it gives. If it doesn't give, then no matter how thick it is, it's not doing the job it's needed to do. So, and that's why some of the basketball shoes are so good, because they're constantly running and pounding. So if you try on some of those basketball shoes, yeah, they're like $300, but they're $300 for a reason. And it's the science that's gone into making sure that it gives. I'm not an expert, but
you're giving a lot of good information. I am not a hiker, but I do have, this is my example of my hiking shoe.
Oh my gosh, I would trip.
I'm kidding, because I don't do any hiking. I just happen to have this shoe right here. Yeah, no. I'm not doing any hiking. I'm not wearing that. So
I was worried about you going up the mountain.
No, that would be definitely a mistake. But so to our audience, we'd love to hear from you about what you're doing for fitness. As you know, Diane, I'm obsessed with something called Solid Core. And I think they're in the United States only. I don't think that they're outside the United States, but it's an incredible workout. And it's a specific, that's the name of the company, Solid Core, solidcore.co. And the exercise that you do, it's focusing on your core. It's the whole body, but you can take it up a level, another level, and there's like no end to how much you can push yourself. So I love that. And I also love yoga.
Oh, that's very good. Well, as you know, I've been in transition moving, so I'm just now getting started back to everything. So there's something called the F45 that I'm going to be looking at.
Yes.
If you know about it, some of you can tell more. So I'm going to look at that. And then today, actually, after this show, I'm going to go to a company called Stretch Zone. Have you heard of that?
No, I've not.
So I can tell you more about it after I've experienced it. But I decided to start with them because I used to be really good at yoga. And after going to a couple of sessions, I was like, man, I just really need to stretch before I go all into my yoga. And so then someone told me about Stretch Zone, and it's where you can, it works on your body, and you're stretching it away so that you're not straining the muscles and you're not hurting yourself. And I thought, well, this is what I need to help prepare myself to move into some stronger stretches that I want to do within my yoga. So I'm very excited about it. I'll let you know how it goes.
Fantastic. And I think with stretching and yoga that they are really good foundational things to do for any other type of exercise.
Absolutely. I mean, to me, what a little bit I've always learned from different doctors is that if you don't stretch your muscles, even if you don't have time to, pick up a can of tomato soup or something and do this as you're cooking and stirring, which is, that's weight, right? Stretching you have to do. And that was one thing I liked about what is it that everyone was doing for a while? Maybe they're still doing it. Oh my gosh, it's slipping my mind. It's all over coach something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But you do, you do your squats, and squats is something that you need to do every single day so that you don't have to grab something when you're 80 to help you squat. So doing things that are just a part of life so that you can maintain. And squatting is stretching, and then pulling up is so important. And we don't realize how quickly we can lose that elasticity. Don't you think, Dr. Jacalyn?
I definitely think so. And I'm not now, but I have been a certified personal trainer for years, certified spin instructor. Now I'm a certified yoga instructor and meditation coach. But my point is, weight bearing exercise is extremely important. And when you talk about squats, one really good test that I'd like everybody to try, and I have to say my mom is fantastic at this. If you're sitting down, I don't care if you're sitting in a chair, you're sitting on a plane, if you can stand up without using your hands, that is a really important test to show you how strong your lower body is. As we get older, we're leaning on things for support to stand up, to do things. So a good practice is, wherever you are, if you're sitting down, try to stand up without using your hands. You also engage your core. And what I would suggest is, if you don't have the ability to go to a gym and lift weights, as Diane said, find things around the house that you can use, because walking is great, but think about it, it's not doing anything for the upper body. Right. And so as we get older, you'll see people they're leaning forward, they're shrinking. If you keep building up your muscles and strengthening your core, it helps you stand up taller so that you're not shrinking as much, right? And you're not hunched over. So I always say to people, if you have to pick one thing, it should be weightlifting. And again,
I agree.
I'm not an expert, disclosure.
No, I agree with you. And I want you to go one step back for people. There are many people who don't understand the vocabulary of the core. So could you explain that, please?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. So again, I am not a paid spokesperson on the anatomy. I am not a doctor of medicine, but your core, when you look at a core of a tree, right? It's this area here around the middle. And so it goes all the way around. You want to keep this strong. So you have different sets of muscles in your stomach, your abdomen. You have your lower abs, you've got the middle, you've got your obliques on the side. And if you've ever seen someone who has 6-pack abs, I've seen, I think, one person with 8-pack, where it's right down the middle here. And that's a lot of genetics and diet if you want to have a 6-pack or an 8-pack. But regardless of what you weigh, how tall you are, where you live, it's really important to keep those muscles in the front and back, to keep them strong. And you don't even need equipment to do this. I'm actually coming out with a fitness course. I just have to figure out where I'm going to be doing it. But something that's really, really easy to do for anyone is a plank. So a plank, if you think of your body being this way, you can actually, if you can start on your elbows and you can start on your knees. So imagine you're on the ground, you're on your knees, and you're on your elbows with your palms up or your palms down. And you try holding that, for a certain amount of time. And then as you get stronger, you can come up to your hands and you can come up to your toes. So I like to challenge myself. And the last time I did the challenge, I was at 11 minutes. So you have to keep your back straight. Like if you start like this, then you're going to have back problems. So you keep your back straight and you hold it, and then your whole core, your entire body starts shaking. and you're going to get stronger and stronger. You don't have to leave wherever you are. You can just do it in, as long as you have space that's as tall as you, a little bit longer, you can start doing planks and working on your core.
I love that. And just so people know, so I was up to 5 minutes, but then, yeah, but then I stopped, right? Because we moved and all this other excuses that I have. And so I went to go do it, and I could barely do like 30 seconds. So I did exactly what you said, starting on the elbow. Now I'm starting all over. But the whole purpose of sharing this story is to inspire people. Don't think about, oh, I used to be able to do it and I can't do it now, and now it just makes me sad. Well, don't be sad. Go fix your core. Because
Yes.
it stimulates your entire body, right?
It definitely does. And again, you like right now, I could go down right now and do a plank. You could do one right there, wherever people are. And let's say you can do it for 10 seconds. You know, I like to set a timer, you know, on the phones, they have that little app that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I start out, you know, for me, I like to start out at a minute. For somebody else, it might be 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Then during the day, you could go again, another 10 seconds, and you will be shocked at how much strength you're building up and how it helps you in so many ways, whether it's your posture, whether it's sleeping, whatever it is. I urge everyone to try doing a plank. Again, no equipment needed, don't need to leave the house, don't need another person, don't have to hire someone. So, and it's so much better than those traditional sit-ups where people are pulling their neck, you know, or you've got your feet locked under something. So that's it for the plank.
I'm so glad you said that. You re-inspired me to get down on the floor and do the plank. And, you know, I didn't even think about it, but now I see myself going like that. And I didn't even think about how I was possibly making it harder when I'm older, because you're right, that whole core pulls you up. So
yes,
I will make a point to do that. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, and thanks for trying. And you just made me think of something. Whether you're sitting in a chair, let's say you're sitting in a chair and you want to stand up without using your hands. If you put your feet a little bit wider and you're squatting down, like you're in the chair, and you move your feet out, you probably can stand up.
Whoa.
There you go. The same thing with a plank. When you first start out with the plank, keep your feet at a shoulder width distance or even wider to give yourself more support and more balance. Now, if you have shoulder problems, you want to make sure when you're doing the plank, whether you're in your elbows or your hands, you're not bringing your shoulders forward and caving in, or one shoulder's higher than the other. So these are just some disclaimers, because there are many people who have shoulder cuff, you know, rotator cuff issues. You don't want to inflame that for sure. So,
and there is something about when we get down, we automatically want to go like this.
Yes.
So don't hug your neck. Bring it down.
Bring it down. Bring it down. Yeah. You know, Diane, I think that's on a future show. I don't know if you have space there, but we should actually do some demonstrations of exercise. It is fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I was wishing, so on my Santa wish list, if anyone's listening in the family, I want to get that new thing, at least it's new for me, where it you put your phone on it and it follows you 360.
Wow, I haven't heard of this. No, I've
yeah, it's really cool. And so that way, if I was to get up, you know, you see the person. If I get all the way to the ground, it's just following you all the time. So if I'm cooking and I want to do another cooking thing, baking, like I like to do, then I could be stirring. And then when I go to the oven, you know, it's following me. I don't have to sit there and re-add it. So
how about that?
There has to be an app. Somebody create the app for the computer.
Yes, we need that. And we've got a comment from Marites, who's still watching. Yay. She said, yes, I'm practicing now how to go up and sit down on my chair while talking to my husband. And he's laughing at me now, but we'll convert him too and make it a challenge goal with him. Thanks for sharing. See, people will be surprised. Like my mother, for example, she can get right, like she doesn't even think about it. Wherever she's sitting, she stands right up. And that's because she's been an athlete her whole life. And I look at that and that makes me smile, because I think, okay, that's really a wonderful thing. But yeah, so get out there and do your planks, and also practice the standing up. And again, wide leg could be easier, but just no hands. Look, no hands, Mom.
No hands. But also for the women who are like, oh, why are my arms, the fat coming off the bone? Or I should say skin. Anyway, the plank helps make them look good.
It does. It does. And, you know, Diane, I'll give a transparent share, which I think I've told you before, but I'm 58. And when I turned, it was last year, that pandemic again, my skin changed, and my ability to have the same size muscles that I used to have has changed. So I worked out through the whole pandemic. I did my trampoline, I did my weights, I did my bicycle, I did everything. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get the pump that I used to have in my muscles. So the fascinating thing is that I'm actually stronger, physically stronger when it comes to weights than I've ever been at 58, but my body doesn't look the same. So it's kind of like a
hormones.
Yeah, that's exactly. I guess it's has something to do with loss of estrogen or something.
Yeah, the hormones. But also I want to share with people that it just came to mind that all these things that we have, the electric can opener and things like that, the mixer, it's great to have, but an actual can opener, that's the old fashioned that you clank like that and you turn. This wrist is an important muscle to keep up.
Yes,
it interferes, because if you don't have that flexibility here, it's going to hurt with just putting your clothes on. And so that was one thing. My mom is a nurse. She's like, no electronic can openers are in the house, so that you do not ever lose that muscle. And I just wanted to throw that out there.
And by the way, mixing, that's another one, because you're actually, if you have to mix 100 times, like I can feel that already, as opposed to just turning it on and
right. And I actually enjoy hand mixing.
Yeah. And you want to switch hands as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And Diane, I think that's a great point. Something I want to point out as well about the wrists is that you have to keep them strong, and you also want to make sure you don't get carpal tunnel. So nice stretch, although very painful, disclaimer, is anybody who can do this. If you take your hands like you're going to do beach volleyball, right? So you're doing them like this, and you lie your body across. So you lie on the floor with your arms at your elbows as close as you can get them, and your hands together, and you lie on your body. So you lie down, and then you lift one leg, and your hip bones are going to be pushing into your arms. So you're basically cutting off the circulation to your forearms. And then when you lower the legs, then the fresh oxygenate, can't even say that, blood goes back to your arms, and you actually give yourself a lot more flexibility and strength. So again, try that. You put your arms together, you lie across your body on your arms, okay? And then you lift one leg, lower it, the other leg, lower it, and then both legs together. It's a yoga move, and it is painful. I'm not going to kid you. The other thing I want to share about stretching is your Achilles. The Achilles tendon can rip so easily, and people, as they get older, people start taking up more sedentary activities. Or I know a lot of people here in South Florida, they're playing golf, they're playing tennis. That Achilles can rip so easily. So something that you want to do, especially if you're wearing high heels, like I just showed you, you know, like here's a pair of shoes that I have, like a nicer heel, but I've got a lot of really high heeled shoes. You want to sit on your feet. So
like when I was little, I used to do that.
And it's going to hurt if you haven't done it for a while.
Yeah.
But you put the front of your feet flat on the ground, right?
Okay. Yes.
And then you literally sit on them. Now, if you have knee issues, you want your knees wide apart, right? And you can even try to put your
bottom
in between.
In between.
In
between. You were going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you really feel that stretch in the knee muscles.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And you
haven't
want to
done
use
that in a while.
Yeah, you want to use your hands for support initially, because you don't want to go backwards. If you have any kind of knee issue, you never want to mess around with your knees. But just from practicing yoga for years, these are some things that even when I don't have time to practice, that I say to myself, like, for example, if I'm at the gym, I will, they've got a pull down a rope, the rope, and you pull it down. So I'll actually grab onto the rope, sit on the floor. I'll sit on the front of my feet, and then I'll bring the rope and I'll pull it all the way back, just to keep everything stretched and keep my Achilles stretched, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have a show with you doing a demo.
Yeah, it's easier to see if I'm doing it than talking about it. So,
well, I can't. I'm happy to learn that you're going to be doing a show like that. So, our lessons, we can take lessons from you. Can you explain that? You let that slide really in there really quickly.
Well, so I've always been interested in fitness my whole life. As I mentioned, I was a personal trainer for years, and I base my whole day, believe it or not, every day of the week around what I'm going to do to exercise. That is my main priority, is to keep my health. So I have learned a lot of things over the years because I've gotten certified in a lot of things because I like to learn. So I'm going to be having a live fitness class that people can take, and we'll be doing different exercises that you can do in your home. So in the pandemic, in different parts of the world, they're closing down again and people don't want to go into gyms. So you will be able to do all these things at home, and you should be able to see results fairly quickly if you are also monitoring your diet. And if you're not, then you could just do some exercise that we all need to do.
That sounds great. And I definitely am going to be following you on that one, Dr. Jacalyn, especially for people who need to be home. And I remember the name of that place now, CrossFit. Rachel was a coach there. How could I forget? And they specialize in making sure you're doing, especially if you're my age, doing things that are just everyday important things to be able to never lose that function. So
CrossFit is there are people who are obsessed with CrossFit, just like I'm obsessed with solid core. It's
I'm gonna look up solid core and see if we have one in Austin. That'll be great.
I put it in the comments, so it's solidcore.co, not com, just CO. And again, I'm not a paid spokesperson, but it's actually interesting because I believe a woman started the business. She created the machine. If you're familiar with Pilates, there's something called
Pilates
Reformer.
The Reformer.
Yeah. So this has a machine called Sweatlana. And but it works, you work your whole body, and you also get a core workout because of the pace of it. So that's solid core. Before we sign off for today, I'm thinking we have these holiday things, but maybe we should save them for another day, or do you want to do them today?
We could do a few, or we can tell people about that one particular guest that she wishes she could be here. We can't at the moment, and we could save her things and do it with the Filipino things next week or whenever you're doing. It's all up to you. I know time-wise, you have to get ready for another show.
Yeah, we have another show. And by the way, folks, and Diane, you might be interested in this. We have some openings for chefs. If you are a chef and you want to cook, you want to bake, you want to do something creative live, then we have an opportunity for you. So keep that in mind. Yeah, we're actually coming out with our new formatting for next year. And I'm also looking for someone who wants to paint or do clay or something they want to do live on a show. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun. I love that.
You probably could do all that as well.
Not to that great, but I certainly know some incredible people to send your way. That's for sure.
Wonderful. Well, is your friend coming back next week or another week? Or you don't know yet?
Janet, she wants to. So people were talking about a woman, Janet Waite, who has the company Seasons by Design. So make sure you look her up. She's on Facebook. I think she still has installations to do. She does homes as well as stores, and all her things are in Bloomingdale's at the moment in Dubai. So that's pretty cool, right, Dr. Jacalyn?
Yes, I'm typing her Facebook, Seasons by Design.
Yes, and so she really wanted to be with you today, or be with us today, but she's in the middle of a big installation, so she gave us permission to put some things up. But I think she'll be really excited to be spotlighted with some of the holiday things of the Philippines, and I can't even begin to tell you how much fun the Filipinos. They have these lanterns, but I'll get carried away, so we'll wait till next week. Spoiler alert.
Let's show one. Any one in particular that you want me to put up?
No, you pick one if you like. They're all beautiful to me, so I can't.
I kind of really like this one.
Oh yeah, she did something that wasn't in your traditional colors. Isn't that cool? She's very creative. Yeah,
really pretty. I can definitely show these because I'm sure she has more. She's got a ton of
stuff.
Yeah.
She has a ton of stuff. Okay.
So just for people just tuning in, what is her name again?
Janet Waite, Seasons by Design.
Perfect. Okay, so here's one of her designs. And again, I think this is just fascinating. And Diane, correct me if I'm wrong, but she put her designs on her Facebook page, and Bloomingdale's, the department store Bloomingdale's, someone from Bloomingdale's saw her work, contacted her, and hired her.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
I remember that story because it's so motivating and inspirational.
It is. And, when you're a person who travels and you live in different countries because of your husband's work, you're reinventing yourself. And I believe she has an interior decorator design, but you're still like, okay, I'm in another country now. What do I do? And, us women, we are used to reinventing ourselves, and she's just done a miraculous job. But when you go to Janet's home, I'm not sure how she has it this year, but so I'm speaking of before COVID. From the moment, the way that the homes are in Dubai, you have a wall for each home. And so the moment you enter through the gate, it becomes magical. So 1 year, polar bears was her big theme. And you're just greeted by these polar bears, and everything's all white and snowy before you even enter the home. So it's just incredible what she does, truly.
That sounds fantastic, and I'm looking forward to having her back. So this is just such a fun show because we can talk on any number of topics. We've had some incredible travel experts on here, Sandy and Juanita.
Yes, and I want to try to get my another friend from Dubai who specializes in jewelry. So I have this really cool piece on right now. I don't get to see it, but it's from France, and it's all handmade, I believe. But she can tell you the exact history of it. It's vintage, and she's just amazing. So, and she's British, but a lot of British people live in Dubai. So it's the snowbird place, like New York.
I didn't know
that.
Florida. Because Marites was just talking about Dubai. I feel, and Ann O'Connell, she was talking about Dubai. Everybody's going to Dubai.
Dubai is really not only just a lovely place to live, and the Emiratis again are just beautiful people as well, but it's a great location. So from Dubai, you can get to India really fast, Africa, Thailand. So it's a good center to just kind of go. Like they say, New York, you're just over the pond, and before you know it, I'll never forget the first time I ever heard the Atlantic Ocean called the pond.
I know, me too. What's funny about New York, at least in my experience, is that New York is divided up into boroughs, but there's so much traffic there. There's so many people there that you don't get anywhere quickly unless you're going to take public transportation. If you're driving, look out. It's interesting. So, I think I think Dubai, like going from Dubai to India or Africa, to me sounds so much more exciting than going from New Jersey to New York or Pennsylvania.
Well, that's because you're from America. It's if you grew up in Germany, you're like, yeah, France, who cares? Italy, who cares? You're like, oh man, Germany to Texas, well, I'm there, baby. And I'm like going, oh, but Italy sounds so wonderful. So it's all about where you've been, right?
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's very true.
But I will say, for people that go to Dubai, it's a great stop off if you're traveling to other places like Turkey. I absolutely love Turkey. I've been there like 3 times, and the country is so huge, and the history, you can't even see it. You need to just go live there for a while. But the cost to go from like Texas to Africa, astronomical, right? But the cost from Dubai to Africa is a lot cheaper. So you could go Texas, New York, or Texas, New York, London, Dubai, then go to Africa, and you actually save money.
Look at that, a travel tip. You're getting fitness tips, holiday tips, travel tips. It's all here. You know what else would be fun to do on this show? We had your friend on last week with the magnetic eyelashes, Tori Bell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we had your other friend on with the hair weaves. I think it would be kind of cool to have someone do live makeup.
Oh, that would be fun.
And also to color someone's hair, maybe live.
Yeah.
Like to give people tips of things that they can do at home as well.
Right. The coloring would be so much fun, but you'd almost like it would takes 45 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You can do one a little bit starting, and then you can see the end next week.
Diane, it's funny. I color my own hair, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I have scalp psoriasis, which thank goodness is going into remission. But I go to a beauty supply store, and I get the same professional supplies that they'll use in a salon. So I went in not that long ago, and I said, oh, I'm looking for 10G in whatever line it was. And the woman said, oh, we're out of 10G, but we have 8G or something. And I said, oh, I'm not really sure if that's a good color for me. So she looks at it. She goes, oh, who's been doing your hair? And I said, that would be me. And she said, oh, you must be leaving this on, you start over here, you leave this on long. You have to leave this on longer, with some side longer. Yeah. So this side's bright. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
It's amazing that you could do it. I tried it only one time, and I think I told you I turned my hair purple because I put too much on, and I was teaching kindergarten, and the kids were afraid to come in class.
And now if you were in different parts of the world, you can have purple hair and people don't even look at you twice, right?
I know. I was at the salon the other day because I live for the salon. And it's amazing, all these young kids, they were getting purple and green and pink, etc. So I'm like, what a different world. For sure. I think it's so different. Yeah.
It's creativity. We're letting our creative outlets shine. So
yeah, I think that's great.
I do too. And I think we have to wrap up because I don't even know what
you have another show. But tell your mom I'm really impressed, and maybe she can come on the show and just show how easy it is to do.
By the way, you just made me think of something else. Here's a great exercise. Diane talked about squats, okay? You could have a chair behind you, like Diane, when you stand up, you have your chair, and then just squat down and hold, lift up. Do that maybe 10 times. Lift up, and your feet should be facing forward. They should be hip width distance. And then you can also push it a little bit. You can stay down and do little 1-inch up and downs.
Oh, wow. That's good for me to know too.
Yeah. Next week we'll watch you doing them.
Well, I just got our new piano, so I'll do that from the piano place. Maybe I could be like Jerry Lee Lewis, and do my little foot, my leg.
I think you should. By the way, something we could do is dueling pianos, because I have a piano here. You could be on the piano. We could play a song together, maybe.
Yeah, well, you're probably much better than me. I'm starting all over.
I haven't practiced in a long time, so.
But
All right, we digress.
Fun. Okay, we have. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching the show.
Thank you so much for being here. The next show is the United Kitchens, and Ricky Lee McKenna is cooking up a storm with pumpkins and root vegetables. And again, if you're interested, Diane or someone else who wants to be a chef on USA Global TV, just reach out and let me know. All right. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate having you here. Thank you, Marites. Thank you for letting us stay here on this show.
Yeah,
and thank you to everybody for your engagement. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye, everybody.